Wembley Stadium, Port Arthur, and Denim Day are all on this day. Hey, welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is April 28th, 2021. It is the 118th day of the year. There are 247 days left. It's the 17th Wednesday in the 18th week and the 40th day of spring. We got 54 days left until summer. Here in Oregon, it started raining and getting cold again out of nowhere. I thought we'd already hit summer. At least, that's what it felt like 2 weeks ago. Now all of a sudden it's raining again. Oregon, bipolar weather. Today is Denim Day. Denim Day seeks to protest sexual violence. I know that just caught you off guard. How is denim related to sexual violence? I'm gonna tell you all about it, and it's weird. This day aims to educate others about forms of sexual violence. It encourages everyone to wear and buy jeans as a sign of solidarity for survivors and victims. Now, this sounds like something that the Levi Strauss company came up with, but it's not. Listen to this nonsense. Denim Day was started in response to a sexual assault case in Italy. In 1992, the Italian Supreme Court overturned the conviction of a rape, with the reason being that because the jeans the victim was wearing were so tight, she must have consented, because there's no way he would have pulled them off without her help. This, of course, as you can imagine, sparked outrage. Many protested the verdict by wearing jeans in solidarity. The verdict would later become known as the jeans alibi. Yeah, I know it sounds like I'm making that up, that whole story, but it is real. I actually had to research it to make sure, because I thought it was BS. I really did. Denim Day was established in 1999 by the executive director of Peace Over Violence, Patty Ochozo-Giggins. I hope that's her name. It's observed annually on the last Wednesday of April. That one's just weird to me. All right, let's see what else April 28th has given us. 1910, Frenchman Louis Paulhan wins the 1910 London to Manchester air race, the first long-distance aeroplane race in England. 1923, Wembley Stadium opens. Named initially the Empire Stadium, it was changed to Wembley Stadium later. I have a friend that saw this years ago. He's a big tennis guy. He went to college on a tennis scholarship, and he saw tennis at Wembley Stadium, and he said it was magical. So I guess you got to be a tennis fan to get that. I don't know. It's not something I'm going to go out of my way for, but it sounds interesting. 1944, World War II, 9 German E-boats. If you don't know what an E-boat is, it's very similar to our PT boats in World War II, but they attack US and UK units during Exercise Tiger. What the Germans didn't know was this was a rehearsal for the Normandy landing, so they were just practicing the landings. It killed 946 sailors and soldiers, but they had no idea what they had happened upon. They just started attacking. They probably would have been better served if they sat back and watched what was going on and taken down information and intelligence, but instead they attacked. Killed almost 1,000 people, though, it's sad. 1952, the Treaty of San Francisco comes into effect, restoring Japanese sovereignty and ending its state of war with most of the allies of World War II. 1994, former Central Intelligence Agency counterintelligence officer and analyst Aldrich Ames pleads guilty to giving U.S. secrets to the Soviets, and later he continued to give them to Russia when they were no longer the Soviet Union. 1996, the Port Arthur Massacre in Tasmania. A coward named Martin Bryant opens fire at the Broad Arrow Cafe in Port Arthur, Tasmania, killing 35 people and wounding 23 other. Port Arthur is a town and former convict settlement on the Tasman Peninsula of Tasmania, which is part of Australia. So the backstory goes like this. Martin Bryant's father tried to buy a bed and breakfast, but a couple named Sally and David Martin swooped in and basically bought the property before he had a chance to ready his finances. He was upset about this. The Martins had some other property which he offered to buy from them so he could start his own bed and breakfast. They turned him down. This set his father into all this paranoia that the Martins were just trying to bankrupt his family and all this other stuff, and he went into depression and eventually committed suicide. Well, his son, Martin Bryant, obviously upset over this. The wheels in his head started working. He was, going through depression, all other kinds of problems. Bryant got up around 6 a.m. His girlfriend left the house to visit her parents, and he was seen on security leaving his place around 9:47, and he was heading to Port Arthur, but he was also seen heading to the Seascape, which was the bed and breakfast his father tried to buy. He got there around 11:45 a.m. When he went in, he found David Martin, the husband who had turned his father down. He basically held a gun on him, tied him up, gagged him, and stabbed him to death. So he locks up the Seascape and heads down to the tourist area of Port Arthur. where he ends up at the Broad Arrow Cafe. He has a sports bag with him which has some weapons. He goes into the Broad Arrow Cafe, orders a meal, eats his meal, has uncomfortable racist conversations with people sitting in the place, talking about how there's not any white people here. It's mostly Japanese tourists. Everyone is uncomfortable by him. He finishes his meal, takes his tray back, walks back to his seat, pulls out the AR-15 out of his bag, and starts shooting. He probably would have killed more. It was a 30-round clip, but he only got off about 20 rounds because they figure he forgot to reload after he was at the seascape. From the first shot, it took him 15 seconds to kill 12 people and wound 10 more. He moved on to the gift shop and shot some local women there, including a couple teenagers that were in the gift shop. Now, this area is known for having these historical reenactments of battles that went on there. People hearing the shooting didn't really run out of the parking lot or anything like that because they thought it was a reenactment of some sort and they were just hearing it in the distance. And now Bryant moved into the parking lot. The parking lot was filled with cars and buses for tourists, which he started just shooting people randomly and even got onto one of the buses and shot some people there. Went back to his car at one point, reloaded, and just a bunch of nonsense. One dude was trying to film him from a distance. He saw him and shot at him, but missed. Bryant then got back into his car and left the car park. Witnesses say he was sounding the horn and waving as he drove off. Bryant drove along Jetty Road towards the toll booth where people were running away. Bryant passed at least 2 people. He was driving down the road, saw a mother and her children, 3 and 6, trying to get away from the incident. He pulled up next to him. She thought he was offering a ride. She didn't realize it was the gunman. He killed all 3 of them. I could go on and list other things that happened, but I'm getting kind of depressed doing this. So there were 35 people killed, 24 injured, including Martin Bryant, which is really a shame he wasn't killed. Bryant was sentenced to 35 sentences of life, as they call it there, imprisonment for each count of murder, and 25 years for the remaining charges, including attempted murder and injuring people, aggravated assault, and a couple other things, and unlawfully setting fire to a property. He decided he was going to be an arsonist at some point during this. Yeah, so he's never getting out. What happened with this is Australia totally changed all their gun laws, and they haven't had a mass shooting since. 2004, CBS News releases evidence of the Abu Ghraib torture and prisoner abuse. The photographs show abuse from American troops over Iraqi detainees. Movies released on April 28th, 2000, Where the Heart Is. This is a cute movie. It's got Natalie Portman, Ashley Judd, Joan Cusack, Sally Field, Stockard Channing's in this. This is a great movie. It's about a girl who is pregnant. She's like 8 months pregnant, and her boyfriend she's traveling with, he wants to be a country western singer. He up and bails on her while she's in the bathroom at Walmart and just leaves her there. And she lives in the Walmart for a couple days, and then she's taken in by some locals, and it's a really cute movie. If you ever get a chance, watch that movie. Born on April 28th, Penelope Cruz. She's 46. Saw some video of her and some pictures. She still looks like she's in her early 30s. Good looking woman. Died on April 28th, 2018, we lost James Hilton. He was an American race car driver. He was a 2-time winner of NASCAR's Winston Cup Series and was a longtime competitor in the ARCA Racing Series. He died at the age of 83 in a car accident, which was actually caused by a heart attack he experienced while he was driving. Kind of weird. It was pretty interesting. I watched this thing on him. He never really had big corporate sponsors or anything like that, but he still showed up for some races and was really under budget compared to some of the other cars, well, most of the cars, and he still won a couple times. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Hope that Port Arthur thing didn't depress you guys. Anyway, go out, be successful, and definitely be nice to each other.